It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday night. You know what that means. It's time for the Wrestling Wire. I'm your host with the most, your Theo, always looking divino. David Estacado here, along with Lorenzo the Llama, and we're here live tonight, and we have so much to go through. We have Raw, we have NXT, AEW, a documentary dropped, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and I have a special guest tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Ron is still taking a bit of a break, trying to recover from some health stuff. He will actually be back next Thursday, so can't wait to see him back. But we have a guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, helping me bring the spotlight to the indie wrestling world and the big wrestling news, we have the spotlight himself, Scotty Brooks.
Hey guys, I might be having some internet connectivity issues right now. I apologize for that. Hang on one second.
But you look great. Thanks for joining us. I guess it's the storm. I hear there's a huge storm, hurricane coming through. Somebody tell Sean Helms needs to back off a little bit. Just saying.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a big deal whenever we are not even able to do a TV taping for one of the big three.
Yeah, I saw.
So,
a couple of people are having to take hiatuses just due to the storm. It'd rather be safe than sorry. We don't want anybody getting stuck in the rain, or flooding tends to happen a lot in this area.
Yeah, man. It's crazy right now. But we're here live on the Wrestling Wire. We're crushing it here today. It looks like the connectivity issues are starting to clear up.
You look a lot better than you were prior in the green room, so that's good.
I can hear everybody, so we can see what's going on. So
fantastic. Major news. I think the big one that everyone's really talking about is the documentary on Netflix that just dropped on the McMahon. Have you had a chance to see it yet?
Gosh. I just started it today because the rain was getting too bad to do anything for my shoot job. So I literally just started it today. I'm halfway through, I think, episode 2. And all I can say is, wow. I think the episode's called The Heat. And then, I'm looking forward to the others. Always one of my favorite topics to talk about is anything that goes screwy in wrestling. Again, this is one of those instances where, Mick Foley always said it best. Real life is fake and wrestling is real. So let's see how it goes. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, this podcast is brought to you by Aladino Cigars. Yes, that is the Vintage Reserva. Or Vintage Reserve. Sorry, not Reserva. This nice little stick you can grab anywhere. Great Aladino JRE tobacco products are sold. I'm not going to tell you the price because the price will blow you away.
All right. Thank you for that plug-in. I like how you like to plug that in. No, I haven't had a chance to start it. I've seen some of the previews. I've seen some of the talk online. A lot of it is, if you're already a wrestling fan, if you've been watching wrestling for quite some time, if you've been watching WWE when it was WWF and beyond, if you watched other WWE documentaries, it kind of glosses over a little bit some of those things. We already know what's happened, especially with the certain things that came out recently, the allegations and everything. I hear it touches that upon at the end of the documentary, but a lot of stuff is stuff that we as wrestling fans already knew. And this is more for I want to say the outsiders, or people who are just watching Netflix or have not watched a single thing about WWE and want to know some of the history. This is some of the biggest scandals involved, some of the history happened, and Vince's take on it. Not just Vince, the character, but Vince McMahon, the person.
Yeah, we're talking about, the last thing that I heard, I apologize again. I was trying to clear up some of the internet issues that I was having. The documentary is definitely for the average person that doesn't know as much as what you and I would know about Vince McMahon behind the scenes. I feel like the first 2 episodes, I'm seeing some new stuff that is coming in, but Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited, I guess, for the last couple of episodes, especially the stuff that's just come out that a lot of people don't know about.
Mm,
That maybe the everyday public does know, but at the same time, there's got to be new and juicy details that are getting ready to drop, or they wouldn't have waited this long and waited to edit it for that. So, everything's about money. We'll see how it does. I did say, did you see the post that Vince made? So obviously there's some stuff in there that he doesn't like.
yeah. Yeah. He was trying to buy back the documentary. He's trying to say, "Oh, this is how I was portrayed." It really says a lot about his like mentality, and also kind of like I heard some couple conversations. I've been kind of listening, but like just the everything straight business with him. Like it's just it either works or it doesn't, and he just keeps going. Like that. That's the kind of the mindset he's had. For so long that I think it's just maybe it's skewed is his way of thinking.
Yeah, I mean, how many times did we hear that during that documentary, just in the first couple of episodes, that Vince is a workaholic? I mean, that's something, if you're within the wrestling industry, you've heard the legendary nights of Vince staying up and only getting 2 hours of sleep, and he's got to get his workout in, and he thinks sleep is the devil. I mean, yeah. So so to me, there's I have some funny stories that maybe I'll share off the air that come from a friend of mine that dealt directly with Vince. So we'll talk about that off the air. But there's so many layers to Vince McMahon. I hear the negative stuff sells. Let's be honest. Negativity with anybody, whether it be you, me, Ron, the Wrestling Wire, the WWE, AEW, TNA. That's the clickbait. That's what people want to gravitate towards because there's a great psychological term, Schadenfreude, if you've never heard of it, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with that term now. If you're not, Schadenfreude is basically the part of the brain that desires to see other people around us fail. Mm-hmm. We as human beings don't have that desire. So, the negatives go sell, but then I hear the positive stuff about Vince, like Vince, whenever Jerry Lawler had a heart attack on national TV, one of my friends at TCW, he gave it to Vince. He gave his private jet to them and Jerry Lawler's brother to use. So, so they could be there in Vancouver with their father. So,
wow. Well, I can't wait to start it and finish it. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think once you finish, you're like halfway through. It's kind of like what everyone's talking about right now, just how crazy and how like, the mindset of behind the character and who he really is. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting watch. Have you guys watched it? You guys watching at home, have you watched it? What do you guys think? Do you guys think you got a better perspective of who Vince McMahon is? Is there stuff that's missing? Because apparently there was supposed to be another set of interviews before they're finishing the doc that he didn't make to because of the court dates and whatnot. So maybe there's some other stuff that hasn't appeared on it. So I'm interested in knowing what might have been.
Also, how much of that is his attorneys telling him to shut the F up?
Yeah, true. This is true.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a lot of stuff in there that the attorneys are going, you know what? The documentary's over. And
we're done.
In that sense, you listen to the attorneys.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to Raw news. Raw was awesome this week.
Yes.
Dude, the matches were incredible. For me, the biggest takeaway right off the bat, Jey Uso winning the championship here. Wow. I was not expecting that.
First singles win ever in a 14-year career. With 14 years, never had a singles title ever. I mean, we don't know what he did on the indies. I mean, I'm sure there's some, nerd out there that's going through and combing the record books of, Ring of Fire
Actually,
Wrestling 2017. But like we'll leave that to Meltzer. How's that?
yeah.
But I mean, it's his
What
first
a
Intercontinental
match.
title win, first singles. Oh my God! Yes.
Wow.
I mean,
it was just like
go.
Yeah, and like it's very well deserved, and there's a lot of, and I actually got into not really a argument, but like a discussion with a coworker about it, and so he's saying like it was too early to take it off, off of him. I said it was just a weird timing for everything, right? Especially for Jay,
I mean,
like especially him needing the push.
Would this kind of be the Raw season opener, like in the old days? Like they always did a big Raw in late September, early October, and they always had something big. It was not this past Friday, but the Friday before that was the season premiere of SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So, you usually try to pair those two things up or do it within a week of, 14 days of each other. That's usually been WWE's pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So even though they're getting ready to go to Netflix in January, they still got to, you still want to leave things with a bang. And I think this is the way to do it. So
correct. And I mean, do you feel like it was too early of a cut for Braun? Do you think that?
No. I think, I think.
I mean, I feel like they could push him towards going against Gunther eventually.
Well, yeah, I agree 100%. You could go that route. You could go the Cody route because they're both Atlanta boys. They're both, they're both. I think they kind of went. They maybe even went to the same high school or something like that. So I mean, there's so many different routes that you can go with this. No, I don't think you pushed him too fast. I think if he goes straight for the title with Gunther, that's too fast. I don't think he's ready for that. I don't think he's ready to be the face of a company and to, do all those things. Me personally, I think it was a little early for Gunther. That's just now. Listen, I'm probably going to get all sorts of hate mail for that. I think you could have waited till maybe Survivor Series or maybe even next this coming Mania. I think that would have been the perfect time for Gunther. Give him that Mania moment.
But at the same time, though, I feel like he's gotten to his own. Like I like Gunther as this heel champ. Like he's really kind of, you see the evolution from him, especially now.
So let me bring this to you from a.
Okay.
Let me bring this to you from a wrestler standpoint. This is why heel Gunther works. This is why, in my opinion, WWE again. My opinion, guys. Remember that. Heel champions, I think, work best at drawing money than babyface champions. Now, you'll sit there and tell me Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold and John Cena drew more money. Absolutely. I'll give you that all day long. But look at heel Rock and heel Ric Flair and heel Hogan with the NWO. Whenever the babyface is chasing the heel, business is booming. Business for WCW was biggest whenever Sting was chasing Hogan. Business was biggest for WWE whenever Austin was chasing heel Rock. Business was bigger whenever, Cena never really chased anybody except for JBL, and we all saw how that worked. So, but you get where I'm going. Like, okay, the same WrestleMania. Look at the bigger match was Batista versus Triple H. Triple H was that heel that everybody kept chasing. So the heel champions work best. And I think that's why Gunther is working, because you got this monstrous, unstoppable heel. Well, who's the guy that's going to stop him? He's already put down Randy Orton. Randy Orton put him over. Where do you go with from there? So, I think they're going to put McIntyre or Punk in that.
It could be
Seth Rollins. That I think that's the three that you go with. The fans are already starting to get behind McIntyre, so a babyface push,
especially after his
stuff is not. Yeah, and I think you can even start turning Punk heel. I think heel Punk is what we all want.
I think everyone's clamoring for it. No, overall, I thought it was a fantastic matchup. Just back and forth, and then the finish was just wow. Was not expecting it. 1, 2, 3.
Might
The
might
crowd
be the
going
best.
crazy. I went crazy. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the action is amazing. The finish of the match. I mean, and then to see him and you hear him say and new Intercontinental Champion. I would almost, me personally, yeah, everybody wants the Mania moment and all that, but more eyes are on Monday Night Raw than just about anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think him getting his win on Monday Night Raw is a pretty big deal.
Agreed. Yeah. And this kind of builds up.
I mean, you always want it whenever. Yeah, you always want it when the most eyes are on the product, and I think Monday Night Raw, there's a lot of eyes on the product, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting to see, especially if we're right and this bloodline versus bloodline situation happens. Kind of see how that would look. Oh, okay. So you finally got the title. Somebody. Yeah. Maybe.
Does Jimmy come back and could we see the swerve? I still think they're going to swerve Cody. I still think they're going to swerve Cody. I still think I think each day that passes, I think that's where the swerve is. It might not happen at Bad Blood, but it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. All right.
The Cody swerve. The Cody swerve is just it's coming.
All right. Let's see. Moving on. I thought it was hilarious, but I loved the segment with Rhea Ripley, Liv, and Dom, where I guess we're now getting everyone's been asking for it. Now we have the custody battle match. First Thomas is going to be suspended in a cage. So it's custody battle for Dom part 2.
Yeah, but here's the best thing. Who really wants him? I mean, if I've got to play the heel on here, be honest with what. I mean, obviously the kid's married. He just got married. Did you know he had chicken tenders at his own wedding? That was his wedding meal. Like, he's that fucking picky. Excuse my language. Sorry, I might have got us just demonetized on.
We're good.
I mean, seriously, dude, I hear the stories about Dom. Hey, you want to go get a steak? No, I want chicken tenders. What the fuck, man? Have you ever had steak? Nah, don't like it. How do you know? I just know. Sounds like do you have kids, Dave?
No.
Okay,
but so I've been a Manny for a couple years, and that has been my go-to for the kiddos. Fish, chicken tenders and French fries. Yeah, it's quick, it's easy.
Yeah. How do you know you don't like something? Well, I just know. Well, how? Have you ever had it? Well, no. So you don't know if you like it.
Yeah, try it.
Right.
I'm glad I wasn't a picky eater growing up, and I'm glad Kate's not a picky eater.
Well, I say that, and then
she's my guinea pig when
picky eaters. I'm the king of picky eaters. I don't eat beans. I don't eat tomatoes, and stuff has to be cooked a certain way. I'm not a big cheese guy on my burger. So
that burger.
I like cheese in other places. Cheese. I just don't like. I don't like cheese on my burger. I'm weird. I know.
Philly cheesesteak.
Hate mail. Sometimes I had one last night. No cheese. Threw some A1 on it. It was phenomenal. Hey, I'm trying to watch my calories here. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll give you that. I was like, hold on. Philly cheese without no cheese. What?
I mean, my God. I mean, everybody talks about everybody else's arms like Drew Hood's. These aren't chopped liver. Okay.
All right. No, I thought it was a fun segment. It's kind of cool that they're kind of doing this bit of a throwback here. We just talked a little bit about Gunther and Sami Zayn. Oh, I'm loving that Sami's just on a run now, defeating Kaiser and just kind of leading up to Gunther. Just I'm still not going to give you a shot. Use such good heel stuff from Gunther right now, and it just building it up. Do you think Sami will be the one to dethrone him?
I don't know. I mean, I like it. But looking at it from a business standpoint, which you got to remember, that's what wrestling is. It's all about business. Does Sammy put extra butts in the seats as a draw as champion? And I don't know if you can say that. So, maybe. I think it's 50-50. I don't think either way is a bad way to go. I think you get the Sami Zayn people. Maybe you do like a little 2-month reign with him and he's done at the Royal Rumble, being champ.
No, I don't know. Just after that match, it felt like, okay, I think that's where they're going with. You might see a title change. I mean, we just saw Jay win.
Well, you could, and I'll tell you what would even make a lot of sense is what if you transition the title from Sammy to Punk, and then you have that match with Rollins at Mania that we all want to see at this year's Mania between Rollins and Punk. That'll be in my opinion, that would probably be the show stealer of WrestleMania is CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
Then they continue the story. Yeah, I feel like that's possible. No, I was thinking they'll continue the story if they do it that way. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense.
That way you're not, Sammy's a guy that can get his heat back. That way you're not killing Gunther off. But you are going at Gunther. When does Gunther get his win back from Sammy? That's the booking question. I'm sorry. I'm approaching this more like a worker than I am as a fan. So I hope I'm offering a little bit of different insight to the business for some of these guys. So
it's good. That's why we asked you to come on, because we figured, hey, you'd probably have an interesting perspective on this. Judgment Day and LWO still going at it. Dragon Lee wins, but not without the help of Rey Mysterio because of what happened last week. I'm liking this. I like where they're building up with this. Maybe we might see some more interaction between the rest of the group besides just them getting involved in each other's matches. I kind of want to see like a big matchup or tornado tag or something, or even just a whole program block.
Well, what are we doing in Survivor Series this year? Are we going to have like a Survivor Series style tag match?
True. And that's another thing. Yeah, War Games could be another War Game situation. Yeah. But then again, that could also be what they're planning for Cody. Yeah.
I think you do that, but I also don't think that's a bad way to go as a traditional Survivor Series style tag match with that. I think that would actually be really, really good if you did that.
Miz getting interrupted as the Monsters, Braun Sin and Braun Strowman go at it. I'm liking these brawls. Like every single time these guys get on the screen, these guys just beat the crap out of each other every single time.
But the problem is are they going to do everything? And then by bad blood, we've seen them do everything they can do.
Yeah,
and then we're stuck.
I mean, the top rope. What more can they do? Like the top rope broke. They're throwing each other into the barricade. What more can they do to escalate it to make it even bigger? Besides
bleed.
True.
True. Do you see the corner you're backed into now?
Yeah.
God, I'm really peeling back the curtain here tonight. Sorry.
Drew telling CM Punk he's going to take him to hell at Hell in the Cell. I'm excited for that one. That's going to be amazing. Like they've been building that so well.
I am seriously thinking about going to Atlanta and trying to scalp tickets. And what I mean by scalping is buying them off the street. Before we catch any more heat. God, you should have heard backstage last time. I said, I might try to go scalp tickets and, David's over there like, what? You can't say
Why
that.
you can't do that? No.
Oh, I mean, I'm really thinking about just, because sometimes you get some really good deals out there from, the guys that looked like Crime Time back in the day.
Mhm.
and I mean, you just got to know how to talk to them. And wheeling and dealing, that's my game. So
The women's tag team division has just been amazing. Damage control. Um, just wow. Going against Unholy Union, it they're just been on a roll, man. Like they've actually I like what they're doing with the women's tag team division because they're building
well,
this up.
what about like Io Sky and what's the other girl's name? Kyrie Sane and
Mhm.
you're finally letting these girls go and show Dakota Kai and all. You're letting them go and you're letting them show you why they were so big in NXT, and why they made names for themselves in New Japan and in Europe. That's the brilliance of, I'm just going to say it, that's the brilliance of Triple H. Like, he
Mhm.
knows good talent when he sees it. I mean, I sit here at 40 years old and go, wow, I wish I could do that.
No, it's just incredible what they're pulling off. These
Man,
moves, how
yeah.
hard they're hitting. It was.
Yes.
I'm excited to see who's next. And speaking of the women's division, we have Stephanie Valcour making her debut, calling out the women's champ. Like, what are you gonna do when you're across from me? I was like, wow, fantastic, amazing. Like, I am so
I just
hyped
got
to see
cold
her
chills
get
with it.
involved.
I literally just got cold chills thinking about that again. I mean, it's just good. It's good TV.
Yes, and I feel like she's an excellent addition to what they got going on. Um, let's see. Frustration continues with the New Day being defeated by the Creed brothers. Woods isn't happy. Woods is not happy, and I know we talked about it a little bit last week. I feel like this is kind of pushing to we're going to see a heel Woods or New Day being broken up, or in my head, I see like there's like the threat of New Day breaking up and maybe the reemergence of Big E to try to remind them of what New Day is about and saving the New Day faction. Where do you think
I
it's
think the
where it's
money
going?
is there at the end. I think the money
Mm-hmm.
is there at the end. They go to break up. Big E tries to bring them back together, and then one of them, whether it be Kofi or Xavier, turns on Big E, and then there's your match. And I think that's what they're leading into for Mania. I mean, now's when you start. I mean, honestly, now's whenever you're making your call. Right after SummerSlam's whenever you're making your call for who's going to be the next guy at Mania. Like, what's
Mm-hmm.
going on at Mania? Like, because they got to write all this out. That's what people forget. So, now's when you're making that call. Unless somebody just absolutely catches fire. I got to say something. From SmackDown the other night, man. I mean, like, why is LA Knight not getting pushed harder? I mean, he has as big a crowd reaction as Roman and as Cody Rhodes and CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Why is he? I mean, yeah, you can say, oh, he's being pushed. He's got the U.S. title. That's fine, well and good. But why not go ahead and get that belt off of him and start throwing him back into that world title picture? I mean, the guy's ready. The crowd
Yeah.
wants him there.
And not to mention the package with that same night, because it's like, the package with Cody and Roman that same night. But I agree. It's like I hope that they're not trying to. I mean, he isn't fizzled out. He's the crowd loves him. I mean, I think he's awesome every time he goes on there. But I feel like we need to start seeing more of him on SmackDown.
Yeah.
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 Let's see.
I mean that's just pure entertainment. Sorry, that's my tangent for the night. That's my rant. Let's see more of LA Knight. The crowd wants it. His pops are not going away. They're actually getting stronger each week. That's that. Him and Cody are the two guys. That's the future of the company. I don't care what anybody says. That's the future.
Yeah, I agree. Who do you think is going to go up against Nia Jax? Who determine the number one contender?
I think they put Bailey's back on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you did that to get her with her husband. I forget which one she's married to, Jimmy or Jay.
I don't know. I think it might go. I don't know. I think it might go.
The money's with Bailey, but I think she deserves. I think Naomi deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think either way, you're good. I mean, I think the feud there though is that they're not, whoever it is isn't going to win. The feud they're building towards is Nia and Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is building Tiffany into this. It's like she's going to be a babyface by the time Mania rolls around.
Yeah, I feel like that's coming. I think Ron will probably be happy with Tiffany or Bailey.
I'll be happy with Tiffany. She might be my fifth ex-wife. You know, I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, and you know, I'm on one right now, so I mean, like, you know, she could be my fifth one. You
know, 6-man tag ended in no contest with Kevin Owens and the Street Profits going against the Bloodline. That was all over the place. I like how Street Profits came out to help out Kevin Owens, but wow, it was crazy. It was great, and you can kind of see like the Bloodline here just starting to just really wreak havoc at this point. But yeah, SmackDown was also great. Those packages and everything, the matches.
Yes, I agree 100%.
What do you think of Apollo Crews and Giovanni Vinci?
You can't go wrong with either one. I mean, I thought I'm not going to lie, that was probably a little bit of the fast forward moment.
Yeah. I feel kind of bad for the guy. It's like you don't really want to debut in like a short match like that and then have it happen again. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to see where this goes. I feel like it's going to be a good rivalry. They're big, beefy dudes. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. You're good.
Sorry. I was having some technical issues.
All right.
Let's have another drink.
All right.
Sorry,
moving on
Ron,
to
this podcast just got rated R.
Oh, what are we drinking?
A little bit of whiskey.
A little bit of whiskey.
Old Smoky.
All right.
A little bit of whiskey. It was up to here earlier.
Yeah.
So as this goes, we're gonna have.
I already talked about NXT. Stephanie Vacour kind of coming in, making her debut.
Hey, what about? Okay, so let's go. Let's go right to the big news in NXT. There's no bigger news. What about CM Punk as the special guest referee in Chicago? I'm going to do my best Jim Cornette impersonation, like Mussolini and Kennedy.
Okay, that was a bad.
No secret.
Not bad.
You know, like I'm not gonna lie. I'm a huge, you know, if you know me, I'm a huge Punk mark because he's old school, and I love the way they set this up. I love it. I loved it. This is wrestling 101. This is why everybody at NXT succeeds, because they keep it to the basics. Again, listen, guys, if you're out there listening, putting together your matches or even booking a card, it's not fucking rocket science. Sorry, there's a second F-bomb. Somebody wash my mouth out with soap. You know, it's not rocket science, for God's sakes. Like, let's not overbook everything. Let's let things play out. Good versus evil always sells tickets. You know, and then you bring in the great equalizer, CM Punk. And I love what he said. He's like, so since I'm the referee, I don't care what you do. You guys can start fighting now for all I care. I love that. I love that. That's awesome. That's just good stuff. I mean, so, hey, I caught myself there.
Yeah, that was good. Let's see.
Yeah, we're going to go for a third F-bomb probably later in the card.
Let's see. Just going through my notes. Kalani Jordan retains. He's the NXT Women's North American Champion. Liking what so far. Like I said, the women's division in WWE just has been amazing. Speaking of which, the matchup with Wendy Chu and Rosemary, I love that team. It works so well. Distraction from the outside was great. And yeah, that DDT was just sick. It was awesome.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
I love seeing Rosemary, and I can't wait to see what else they do with her here. But I'm loving her and Wendy Chu so far.
Hey, wait a minute. I just thought of something. We got to go back. We got to go back to Monday Night Raw for a second, because this is 2 weeks that we haven't talked about this till now. The Wyatt Six.
Yes, good point. Thank you. Sorry.
I mean, come on, David. What do you got against the Wyatt Six other than
I said nothing?
They're a bunch of hillbillies from the hill. They remind me of the Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, the same. That's the vibe I get from them too.
Well, I mean, the question is: was Lily in the background of the image with Liv Morgan backstage?
Yeah. I think I saw it. Did you see it? Lily? I wonder if I could pull up a picture of that. Can I?
You probably could. I mean, you're in charge of everything over there. It ain't like they give me creative control on this show.
Or you're on it, aren't you? That's creative.
I'm on it. Yeah. It's just using for all his talents. God, you sound like my girlfriend. She only likes me for my body. Just kidding, babe.
That's funny.
She's probably listening right now. Whoopsie.
Oops. Let's see.
Just kidding.
Oh, I don't know. There's so much with Liv Morgan. I don't think I'm going to find it. But no, I should have screenshotted it. I knew I should have done that. Hindsight's 2020. No,
there's like Liv Morgan popping up in a bikini on here. It's like,
yeah,
really looking at her there, David.
No, nothing like that at all.
I think you need some whiskey too.
No,
if the ladies around, just we're talking wrestling.
Yeah, I think she was in the background. I'm gonna have to say yes, somewhere in the other side. Oh, the other vibe I get is House of 1,000 Corpses is also the same vibe I get.
Yes,
from them.
Yes, well, anything from Rob Zombie. How's that?
Yeah, that works.
And lately, is Rob Zombie not looking like the ghost of Macho Man Randy Savage?
Yeah, he is. He totally is. Oh yeah, driving my Dracula. Yeah. Burn through the witches. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cream of the crop. Yeah. See, hey, look, representing the macho right here. See on camera. Wait, let's see. Go from this way. Savage. Yeah. I remember it's all mirrored. It's like Savage. Yeah. Roots of Fight. Go there, buy some good merch. They've got everybody. Hey, we're giving everybody free plugs tonight.
Hey, let's see. Unfortunately, our boy Javon and Cedric lost against A-Town Down Under. Great match, though. Fun match.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, phenomenal.
Just Javon with those off-the-top moves is just phenomenal.
Jesus.
I think it was a great mix-up between the two different tag teams. No, it was great. these guys show that they can move, they can go, and put on a hell of a match, and still look on top.
Well, yeah, and then here's another thing, man. Like, show me two better heels right now at just getting just heat, other than Dominic Mysterio. Austin Theory has got to be right up there. Who's the other guy that's with him? What's his name?
Don't remember.
The other guy from A-Town Down. Yeah, there you go. See, that's how much nobody remembers him. Let's just go the fuck on.
Waller. I got a third Waller in Theory. There we go.
Grayson Waller. That's right. Yeah. See, nobody cares.
I like the bit they did with Lexus King and Oro kind of going at it.
I like Lexus King, man.
And I like he's like, no, I'm going to try to win it fair and square. And he took the bait and 1, 2, 3. I think that was funny. I liked it. It was a good bit. Got the leverage here. Hey, you take whatever leverage you can. I feel like that, but that's just me. If you see an opportunity, you take it. Hank and Tank get winning. I'm liking these guys. These guys are fun to watch.
Yeah.
And the fact that they got one over Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson again.
Yeah, but that's sad. But that's sad. I mean, like,
really,
that talent, Gallows and Anderson. I mean, like, there's a lot of talent with that. You're just going to use them to job out for guys. Come on now.
Let's see. Yeah, most of the segments that I liked, they had like a segment for the Grayson Waller effect, but I just kind of set up, Axum and Fraser to kind of beat up on everybody. But it was cool. It was cool. I like that they do those callback, those little segments. This is my show. Reminiscent of the old 80s Piper's Pit type of stuff, or when Miz does it, or when Jericho does it every now and then. I love those bits. I think they're always fun. Because you already know because for me it's like it's become a meme or a trope to the point like, all right, someone's gonna get punched. Who's it gonna be? Somebody's gonna at the end of this segment, someone's gonna get punched or beat up or jumped, or someone's coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I loved the highlight reel in the old days, and who didn't love all those things? Hey, here's one. Do you remember, or are you too young to remember what they called Shawn Michaels' interview segment in the mid-90s with Diesel?
I don't remember, but I do remember seeing those.
So Shawn's a huge Elvis fan, if that gives you a little bit. And it was named after one of Elvis's hit songs. I'll tell you what, keep it there. Let's ask the chat if they remember that.
All right. Guys watching at home.
If you remember that, if you remember that, if you're watching at home right now and you're live in the chat, I will personally guarantee 2 free tickets to myself and Frankie Kazarian at Collision Course in Marion, North Carolina. If you can name the first person that names it correctly. So, David, since I don't have access to that, you're going to have to keep up with that.
Okay. What was the segment called? Or that's the question, right?
Yep. And I will, through the handy thing of technology, this thing, I will gladly send you the answer right now. There you go. It's there. Wow, I didn't even know I was going to get on here and give away 2 free tickets tonight.
Look at that, giving away tickets. That's fun.
That's going to be a match for the ages.
I'm so wow. Yeah,
guys, we haven't even talked about the big announcement about that match. But we can do that whenever we talk about the indies. Let's go back to the real wrestlers.
You want to talk about AEW while I put this? Did you watch AEW?
want to ask me that question again?
Never mind.
No, I mean, I made some notes. What do you know? I made a few notes. So, let's see here. Let's talk about what I think a lot of people's favorite segment. And if it's not their favorite segment, then it should be. What about Mariah May? And Yuka Suzaki, or however you say her name, Suzuki Sakazaki. Sorry. Sakuraba. You know,
Yuka
a lot of people don't know what that is. He was the great
Yuka Sakazaki.
I think Sakazaki. Yeah.
Yuka Sakazaki. I think she put on a great match for Mariah. Again,
yes,
they're just
she did.
And I think Ron and I kind of went into it earlier about it. He's like, who's this challenging the world champion? You see what I'm saying? I predict this all the time. I think they're just trying to put really great. It was a great match. But but like I feel like AEW, I think, is kind of really drops the ball when it comes to the women's division.
Because
they have so many
on steroids. It's the indies on steroids.
True. It's all over the place, and I feel like they really have to build these matches up. And I feel like what Ron is saying is like they should be building up these talents to kind of build them up as competitors for Mariah May. Ron says he calls it an indie show with money. But overall, I thought it was a great match.
Here's my problem. I love AEW. I have friends that are there. I absolutely love them. But my main problem with AEW is every time I watch a match. Okay, so for example, WWE, TNA, the match takes you on a ride. It starts out, it builds, then it goes like a roller coaster, up and down. Right, which is what you're supposed to do. AEW, by the time I'm done with the first match, I feel like I'm on speed. And when do I come down? Oh shit, the next match.
Yeah. What you're saying is that there's no ebb and flow to it.
Yeah, there's no storytelling. It's like, oh wow. Oh god, you're a good one there, sweetheart. You know who I'm talking to. I'm on TV apparently.
Oh, you are? Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm on TV. Yeah. So is the Wrestling Wire in this.
We're live on the Roku TV, by the way. Let's see.
Yeah. Roku TV. Everywhere Roku's.
And that's and I think that's kind of like where we butt heads. I like the idea that they're putting fresh faces and new faces and trying to bring spotlight to these other talents, but they're not building them up enough to, I guess, have them look like they're going to be competition for these championship and for these other talents.
Look at the guys who can actually go. Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, FTR. I'll just use those three as an example, right? These guys have cadence in their match. For an example, they have a great cadence. Like you know what to expect. Whenever you start watching some of the other guys, it's like, okay, why the hell did you just do that? Will Ospreay can go either way with that. And I know this is going to piss a lot of people off. I'm just saying, like Ospreay can go either way with that. Ospreay can either be like, oh, I'm on speed, or he can actually slow it down. And whenever he slows down, if he was just to work half speed, the guy would blow. I mean, good God, he blew my mind just in the little in-ring stuff he had with MJF live. I mean, the guy's phenomenal. He has a
great speed.
Nobody else has.
And I talked about it a little bit last week, and I feel like he's now slowly kind of getting into his own. I'm like, well, this is who I wanted to see when he first came back. It was kind of a bit of a meh return a little bit. But I'm glad that he's now getting the rhythm of things, of kind of like how he usually does his matches. High speed, that intensity. As Ron likes to
Like
call it, that flippity floppity.
well, I mean, you can do the flippity and floppity. You can do that, but at the same time, it needs to make sense. Like all the flippity floppity has to make sense. I mean, to borrow Ron's term, all that, build to it. Like tell me the story of why you got to be flippity and floppity. The problem is Will Ospreay's bigger than 95% of the AEW roster, so he doesn't need to do that.
True. Well, speaking of rosters,
that is my connection right now.
No, you're good. You're good. Speaking of rosters, going to use some little alliteration here. It was a nostalgic, I want to say, almost a return to ROH in a way, with the American Dragon himself, Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness. Dude, that was awesome match. It was so cool to see those guys going at it again.
Absolutely.
And just the athleticism, the technical work, just the back and forth, the European uppercuts, like, it was great. And man, those kicks from Danielson just are no joke.
Wow.
And then like how brutal they went. It was almost like an MMA match at one point. As they kind of went at it in the ring too. It was great.
They're scary. I mean, that's one of my things that I hate to take in the ring are the kicks. Now watch everybody start kicking the shit out of them. I mean, I hate how people think that they've got to, because the reason you got to work quote unquote strong style is a lot of times somebody doesn't really know how to work. You don't have to go out there and kill the other guy. Now, Danielson is that exception. He just chooses to just cave your chest in with those kicks.
Yeah.
I mean, but
for me, it was like the back and forth. It was the back and forth, just the physicality of it. And I was kind of like, I knew it was eventually going to come down to submission versus submission. And I'm not going to lie, I was like, oh, Nigel coming back on almost winning. And then Danielson coming in. And then, yeah, it was great. And Danielson winning with his submission was just fantastic. It was great. Fantastic. Beautiful label lock. Beautiful, awesome match. Very great way to start, right? And I think that's what you're talking about. Like, they always start up here, but they never kind of they always keep you here. There's no, like, you get tired after watching a couple matches after a while. But all these matches,
like I said, I feel like I've been doing like 5 Adderall pills and I'm going to be up all night. I mean, Jesus, these guys are, and I only know about Adderall because I was once prescribed. I mean, if you can't tell, I have ADHD.
I'm on it. So yeah, I know the feeling.
So, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, these guys are but that's 2 guys that can work that way. And it makes sense for them to work that way. Not everybody. Oh, shit. Are you still there?
Everybody. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah. I can still hear you. We can still hear you, bud. You're good.
Okay. Oh, wait, there we are. We're back. Okay. Somehow I did
3 stars.
my computer
3 stars. What's 3 stars?
Who gave 3
Frankie,
stars?
because I don't know. The Acid Joker, Mr. Carlos Romero. I don't know what rating system you're using here, but unless you're giving us 3 stars or saying, hey, can't wait to see Frankie Kazarian and Spartanburg this Sunday. We'll get to that, Ronald. Thank you for bringing it up, because that's going to be a matchup. We're going to have to talk about that, Frankie. Here, Scotty. How you feeling about that
why
matchup?
Why are you insulting me like that? David,
I'm sorry.
We were on good terms.
I'm sorry.
We were on
my brain was going faster.
That son of a bitch. Until you called me that son of a bitch. Right there.
What I meant to say, I can't wait to hear about your thoughts about your match with Frankie. Sorry.
I can't help it. We look a lot alike, for God's sakes. Jesus Christ. I mean, we're 2 handsome men.
That's funny.
But
Yeah, next matchup
You know what?
here
3 stars. Hey, take those 3 stars, turn them sideways. You know the rest.
was emotional. It was a great matchup. The FTW championship being retired at this
Oh,
point.
and
Man,
what about Taz's speech afterwards?
oh
You know, that's the thing.
yes. And like
You
him
know,
kind of passing it on back to his dad, like right, like
yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah. I mean that was a great moment. Um, I know I crap on AEW a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to in that moment because that was just a good moment. That was a
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal moment. I mean, being a son of a father who has a bigger spotlight than me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's a big deal, and I think it's really cool to honor someone like that. So, sorry, I'm getting a little emotional here.
No, that was great, man. It was kind of that big hug at the end. The speech was
Oh God, it
beautiful,
was
beautiful moment.
oh oh.
So let's see, next matchup. Uh, and I know that Ron's gonna hate it because it's his favorite tag team. Like I said, I like to tell Ron he is the number one best AEW podcaster out there today, and his favorite tag team are the AEW tag teams. Here going up against the current champions Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, the Young Bucks.
Yeah, yeah. What's the new tag team that's there? That's the '80s guys. Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum.
Don't remember off the top of my head right now. But
I
yeah,
love those guys. I'm not gonna lie, like just for nostalgic reasons, I love those guys. I'm like,
but Brown's probably gonna hate me for saying this. I feel like this is actually a pretty good match with the Bucks. The Bucks actually had a
listen,
pretty cool match.
I'm not a Bucks fan. I mean,
Yeah,
those
Flight
Rocky
Line.
Blue.
There we go. Thank you. Flight Line. It's fun to watch. There we go.
Yeah. Wow,
Well, the
Ronald.
Ron, you what? Oh God,
Ron, we thought you weren't watching. You said you weren't watching. You wait till next week, big dog.
He's probably going to shoot me for this, but no, I think the Bucks actually had a pretty cool match against Ospreay and Fletcher.
You can give the devil his due. Can the Bucks work? Yes. Can Will Ospreay work? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They have great matches. Does that pain me to say? Yes, it does. But I mean, honestly, they are phenomenal athletes. They are great wrestlers. Everybody in that matchup brought it. And yeah, I have to agree. It was one of the better matchups on TV.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Fletcher had it after that freaking brainbuster there for a second.
I mean, you were talking about AEW's tag teams.
Yeah.
AEW is their tag team division is way stronger than WWE's. Let's just call it how it is right now. I mean, it honestly is. I honestly think that WWE is missing the ball on tag teams, and if you are a tag team right now, the place to go is AEW or TNA. I mean, TNA needs tag teams, and they will probably showcase them right, and WWE has none. And we all know that part of that was Vince hating tag team wrestling back in the day, which I never understood because you look at all the big time singles wrestlers that came out of the 90s, everybody started in a tag team. And if you tell me they didn't, with what, maybe the exception of The Rock, I mean, Triple H was a member of the Blue Bloods in WCW, Shawn Michaels, the Rockers, Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation, Stone Cold that was with the Hollywood Blondes. Triple H was DX back in the day. I mean, shall I keep going? I've got another ad.
Wow, like you have like the history here.
I mean, it's a great way to teach young wrestlers how to wrestle and how to build a match. No matter, even if you've got someone It's a way, like tag team wrestling is special. I mean, go back and look at another example. Batista. What was Batista before he was World Heavyweight Champion or WWE Champion? He was, and I quote, tag team champions with who else? Ric Flair. Woo! So I mean, it's people. You need tag team wrestling. It teaches you how to work. It's a way to hide somebody's uh, inefficiencies or weaknesses, whatever you want to call them. But at the same time, it's a way to get them over and teach them how to work. Tag team wrestling is needed. We need great tag teams. That's the reason I'm a huge proponent of a lot of these guys out there. Guys like Whiskey Business, and
right off the bat.
On and on.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Whiskey Business.
I will sing the praises of Braden Marshall and Johnny Ryder, even though they whipped my ass up in Marion, North Carolina. Those guys are formidable, and they are doing some great business out there. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you could list of tag teams that deserve that accolade, but Whiskey Business is up there on the top. Speaking of tag teams, the return MVP coming in. I loved it. He's like, hey, when he's ready to talk business, give him my card. I'm here for business. MVP. Will we see the return of the Hurt Business?
Who?
MVP. MVP came out and now MVP.
Who?
Really? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Never was.
Are you serious?
Never was a fan. Never was a fan. Oh, really? Sorry, I'm that weird guy. I mean, listen. I like the guy. He's got a lot of talent. Just never was a fan. Sorry.
I think this is great.
And he can wrestle. He can wrestle, and he's great on the microphone. And the Hurt Business was great stuff. Just not a fan. Sorry.
That's surprising to hear.
Tickle my fancy.
Well, it tickles my pickle. I thought it was a great segment.
Whoa!
What? I just quoted Ron.
David.
Ron likes
we are not that kind of show.
Your pickle.
We are not. Excuse me. For all the families that are out there watching right now, I apologize for what David just said.
This guy. Let's see. Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley. Brutal.
What'd you expect?
I mean, yeah, it's Darby putting literally his body on the line every single time. Moxley just bringing it to him,
and Moxley bleeding all over the place. What's new?
Yeah, it was a cool match. It was a great match. It was a typical Darby Allin match.
A Moxley match and one Darby Allin match, you kind of know what to expect.
Mm.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think the best Darby Allin match I've watched, I watched it live in Columbia, South Carolina, was him and Andrade in the casket match with thumbtacks on.
Oh, nice.
I think that was his best match. I think Andrade, that's the guy that LA Knight worked on SmackDown. That was a match. Oh my God. We didn't even talk about that. What a freaking match. Andrade, honestly, to stay within the cultural lines, and I'm prefacing what I'm saying by saying this. He reminds me a lot of Eddie in a lot of ways. Like maybe not the gimmick wise, but work wise, he really reminds me of Eddie. He kind of has that same feel, in his own way, I should say, in his own way. I really honestly think there's AEW missed the boat with Andrade, and I think Triple H is going to take that and run with it. So sorry, but going back to the AEW deal,
it
was just like watching a car crash. I mean,
then Brian coming out with the tie, choking him out.
Yeah, and when Justin Roberts reacts, he's like, "Oh, yeah." I mean, Oh
But
God,
yeah,
Justin Roberts.
cool way to send it off and finishing it. And then you have the announcement at Collision. It'll be Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler defending the trios titles against Private Party and Commander. So I think that's a pretty cool setup and cool matchup. Yeah, but that's going to be at Mrs. Kate's hometown in good old PA. I wonder if Dad's going to go. Dad wouldn't go, no, but he probably knows it's. I'm probably going to get a message or a phone call later about AW coming to town. Oh, that's gonna be a fun.
He's gonna go who?
These, I'm probably gonna get the message that these clowns are coming to town. I'm like, yeah.
Where are they coming?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
What?
You think they'll sell more than 2,000 tickets?
Yeah, I think they would.
I'll take the under on 3,500.
Okay, all right. Speaking of tickets,
moving on. Wait a minute, time out. Would you like to place a wager on this, David? Let's make this fun.
$20,000 tickets.
How many?
2,000 tickets.
I was going to say under 3,500.
Really? Under 35?
Under 3,500. Yeah, I don't think they sell more than 3,500. What would you like?
I was going to go with the lower number underneath 35, but yeah, 25 would have been, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say they sell. It wouldn't surprise me if they sell 3,000, but I don't think they sell more than 3,000, to be honest with you. So, anyways,
I think. Well, we'll see. I think they'll hit 3,000. I think they could, with how crazy Philly is with wrestling and how many different promotions and fans are out there. I think that it's possible. It's possible.
You never know.
Let's see. All right. Speaking of tickets, hey, how you doing, Scott? Doing great. We still have that question. What was the name of the segment? Apparently, that Shawn Michaels and Diesel frequently appear together on. If you can send that, put it in the chat, you'll get some tickets to the Scotty Brooks matchup.
We don't have anybody watching tonight.
Yeah, we do. We got a bunch of people watching all over. We're on live on the Roku TV. We got people watching on YouTube. I did. Oh, Frank. Oh, thank you, Ron. Thank you, Frankie. Thomas saying hello again.
Hey, Thomas, what's up?
All right, so let's get into the indie stuff. We're trying to watch our time here because then, if not, we'll overload the servers, and we don't want that. So, first things first, I'd like to thank XWW for allowing us to do this and coming to you live from their Roku channel as we discuss what they got coming up and what's coming up in the indies. I'd like to thank our second sponsor, Miss Kate from Red Headed Witch Designs. She currently has things for sale, so definitely check that out on Facebook, Instagram, and beyond. Fortunately, we have to put a pause on commissions due to personal reasons, which I will touch base on later, but we are selling whatever inventory we have left. We currently have a bunch of little Lorenzos left over, 5 little Lorenzos left over, and bracelets and jewelry, and a couple of slimes left over. So, hey, the new Dragon Quest is coming out in a couple months. Get yourself a slime before everybody else so you could be the cooler, nerdier person in your group. All right, moving on. Tickets. Win free tickets to TNA. Shout out to Community Championship Wrestling.
Hey.
That video is going to go live mañana. You have to comment on it. Like the page, share the post, comment, done. They will not comment on the post. They will message you. They will put the video on live. They will announce the winner for tomorrow and Saturday's show. So be on the lookout. Shout out to Community Championship Wrestling for allowing us to do this and for doing this for a lucky fan to win 2 tickets. Hey, take a girl out for a date.
Well, you know what's really cool is I know of a list of about of a few local guys that are going to be on TNA. Now, I'm not at liberty to say who they are, but I know a few guys.
Interesting. All right.
So if you want to come see some local talent that's going to be on a big time show, come to the TNA show in Spartanburg. It has been pushed back to that. It has been pushed back to Saturday. Sunday and Monday. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Jackson Sane is the front cover of this poster where AWL, CPW, and NCW presents TakeOver. Look at the matchups. We have Jax Insane versus Johnny Swinger. What? Will Johnny Swinger be able to swing his way out of this monstrosity that is Jax Insane? We don't know. Don Furio versus Bryce Maddox.
Johnny Swinger is Johnny Swinger. Wait a minute. I thought.
He has great parties from what I hear. Then we have the AWL Tag Team Champions, the Soul Patrol, going against Saturday Night Temptations. And the one and only, my favorite, Nikki Chooch, New York Soul, Mr. Chooch, going against Nick Fury. Hey. And then Mr. Brandon, Big Money, going against Chris Vallow. This is going to be September 28th. You don't want to miss out. This is in Union, South Carolina. Come check it out. It's going to be fun.
These guys are phenomenal. If you get a chance, man, anytime you see Jax Insane step into the ring, you're going to love it. Got to give a shout out to Dion Johnson. Dion, thank you for being such a cool cat back in the day. Nick Fury, Nikki Chooch, that could be the shot of the one that steals the show. And Chris Vallow. Chris Vallow's a hard-working, phenomenal guy. Love those guys. So,
all right, moving on. XWW presents Extreme Warfare at Small Bar. This could be Saturday, September 28th in Stallings, North Carolina. It's a live TV taping. And guess what? It's at a bar. They have food specials, drink specials, free admission. It's free. All you got to do is show up to Small Bar, Extreme Warfare, XWW. Don't miss out. It's going to be a great time. Wrestling and beer. What more can you want? Moving on. Then we got Shop with a Cop coming to you Saturday, October 5th. Silva, North Carolina. It's going to be a great show. Don't want to miss out on that. And what else we got going on? Moving on to Lawrenceville, Georgia for a second night of Art of Lucha Libre. Coming to you live from Lawrenceville, Georgia. It's going to be a great matchup. Yours truly might be showing there being the hostess with the mostest, doing some live commentary, but we'll see. Definitely coming out, Lawrenceville, Georgia. Tickets are on sale. VIP tickets are available. This is going to be October 6th on Sunday. Ooh. General admission $25. VIP tickets are $50, but they come with a early admission into the show, meet and greet, and more. You don't want to miss out. Then get back for more XWW action for another TV taping, Monroberfest, October 5th, coming to you live. Wow. Wrestling starts at 3 p.m., but this is going to be ongoing all day. You don't want to miss out. Food, drinks, more starts at noon, but the wrestling starts at 3 p.m. XWW.
You got some great guys on that card. I mean, there's some phenomenal talent there that I'm seeing. Thomas Extreme, you got Luke Fury, you got JP Lehman, Quest, Elliott Shock, AJ Myers, Angels, and the list goes on.
And Moses. I need to talk to Moses.
What about this guy up here with all that money up top? Is that Manny Mac?
That is Manny Mac. He's just showing off that he has money. I don't know. I think JP Lehman has holding the money a little bit more sophisticated. All right.
Yeah, but, I mean, sometimes you just got to be a baller, baby.
True. FWA in America Lucha Wrestling returns to King, North Carolina, October 12th at Chestnut Grove Middle School for Bibbidi Bobbidi Body Slam. You don't want to miss out. It's going to be a great night of wrestling as it returns to King, North Carolina. It's going to be a good time. Look at the talent. We have Audrey Allen.
Look at this.
We have
that
Pretty Boy Lane.
Who is that girl down there on the right side with the red hair and the black?
I don't know at the moment because I don't have the card in front of me. Because we might have.
She looks like she whipped a man's ass real quick.
I think she's going to go 1-on-1 with Audrey Allen on this one, and I think this might be a really. She looks like she's going to be a hard hitting competitor for Audrey. See how
Audrey's
she
a hell
manages.
of a talent. That's Audrey's
Correct.
one hell of a talent. Yeah, it's Audrey or Aubrey.
D. No, don't ever say Aubrey around her. You will get hurt. I've learned this from experience. All right, moving on. CWU.
Sorry, Audrey.
CWU is coming for a Halloween show. That's right. It's going to be a Halloween havoc of wrestling horror characters battling it out October 18th in Waxhaw, North Carolina. It's going to be a fun time. This costume contest with some prizes at the Tap House, at the Waxhaw Tap House. Come out, have some spooky fun. It's going to be a great time.
Tell me when this is gone. There's too many clowns. There's too many clowns.
All right. And then Super Clash again, October 19th at the Union County Rec Center in Union, South Carolina. It's going to be a stacked night, amazing matchup. Stay tuned for the socials. I think we might be breaking that down eventually closer to the date. And then October 26th in Richmond, CCW Pro Wrestling presents Fear Fest. It's going to be a great, great night. It's going to be at a bar.
Wow.
And look, this is just some of the talent that's going to be there. Steel Hammer is going to be there. Travis is going to be there.
Wow.
Tickets are on sale, $25. It's only about like 100 tickets left to the show. They're about to be sold out.
Wow.
So you need to come out. This is in Richmond. Yeah, the Parlay Bar and Lounge, October 26th at 7 p.m. 18 and up.
I would be there, but I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma that night.
Oh, yeah, let's see, because November 16th, this is the one everyone's talking about. Frankie Kazarian, Scotty Brooks going one-on-one at the Box Factory in Marion, North Carolina. Collision course. I think you have something to say about this matchup. Do we know what kind of matchup this is going to be?
So we contacted Ring of Fire Wrestling. As everyone knows, I am the current Ring of Fire Wrestling heavyweight champion. Frankie decided he wanted to challenge me for that on this card. So November 16th, Frankie, you said it. You said this is what you want. Making sure, because I'm going to beat you within an inch of your life. I love you to death, brother, but I'm still going to beat the bejesus out of you in a last man standing match.
Whoa, hold on. What? Last man standing. That's the stipulation.
Last man standing for the Ring of Fire Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
Well, there you have it. Announced here at the Wrestling Wire. Last man standing match. Stipulation. Scotty Brooks, Frankie Kazarian, and the only way to see it is at HWA Wrestling in Marion, North Carolina, November 16th.
On the left is one good-looking dude. I'm just saying.
He's a good-looking guy. I think he needs to update the picture though, because we have a different look.
I just took that in November of last year. I just took that in
That's a year ago. What's a year ago? XWW presents Death to the Queen. We're moving on. The third annual Deathmatch tournament is going to be being held November 17th, live at 7:30. It's going to be a Roku TV as well. You don't want to miss out. It's going to be bloody brawl. It's deathmatch wrestling. What more can you want? It's going to go extreme. That's what XWW is all about.
You gotta put your money on the king of the deathmatch, the extreme one, Thomas Extreme.
Thomas Extreme. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's the man. I mean, I'm telling you, with his history, Thomas Extreme, that's the guy.
All right, and then in December, the X Awards coming December 15th. It's going to be a private event, but we're going to be streaming on ExtremeTVOnline.com. The best of the best coming together. It's going to be a great night. Stay tuned for that. But I think that's it for the time being. Be on the lookout. Next week, we're going to be busy, pulling up the calendario. Yep. We are.
Did anybody answer the question correctly in the chat? Last chance. Or did they even try?
I don't think so. I think I got mostly Facebook comments, which is weird because I usually get comments from all over, so we might be glitched out on that. but I will check.
Oh, yeah.
No one has said anything. Oh well, they had their chance.
They had their chance. You know what? I didn't want to give out 2 free tickets anyway. You know, I mean, it's not like
Over
we could
here
have got
pitch and
tickets.
woo on live. Let's see. The only other announcement is stay tuned next week as Ron is coming back next week. It's going to be good to see him back after his recovery. But stay tuned on the socials as I will be coming back on Tuesday with Ace as they have a big show on October 6th. We're going to see what's going on with them, with their matchup. It's going to be crazy, crazy night of wrestling. So stay tuned. That's going to be Tuesday, 8 p.m. Then Wednesday at 8 p.m. we'll be live with the World of Lucha Libre for their show in Lawrenceville, Georgia. So stay tuned. That'll be on Wednesday at 8 p.m. And then Thursday we'll be back, and Ron will be back here as well, 8 p.m.
Guys, I want to tell you real quick, if you're in the area of Nashville, Tennessee, you can catch me live at Tennessee Championship Wrestling in Dixon, Tennessee at the American Legion Hall. It's the American Legion Hall in Dixon, Tennessee at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for the bell time for Tennessee Championship Wrestling. You don't want to miss that. Jerry the King Lawler will be there live that night. Crazy. On top of that, if you want to come to Tulsa, Oklahoma, you can catch me there in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Actually, I'm telling you, the guy that I'm wrestling, Cappuccino Jones. Listen, Cappuccino, I'm no cappuccino guy. I'm a straight whiskey guy, and I'm looking forward to showing you what whiskey on the rocks really is like.
Exactly. So, one last time on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. we'll be going over the card, a little preview show for Ace Borderlines, October 6th at the Elevation Arena. White Mike front and center. It's going to be a great night. You don't want to miss out.
Oh, it's going to be a great show.
That Tuesday, 8 p.m. And then on
Wednesday,
we're going to be going over the Art of Lucha Libre at 8 p.m. We'll be speaking with the talent, the promoters, and more. And Thursday, we'll be back here. More Wrestling Wire. But that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm David Estacado. This is the amazing, the spectacular, the sensational, the sexy spotlight, Scotty Brooks. Thank you so much for coming on.
Don't make me show my abs on TV, all right? Don't make me do that because then I'll embarrass us all, including myself.
It's always a pleasure to have you on here, Scotty. And please feel free to come on. Aw. And thank you for watching, Miss Kate. I love you as you laugh at me on the couch. Smooches. And thank you to all you guys watching at home and live. We do appreciate it. Without you, we wouldn't be able to put this amazing show, and we wouldn't have anything to talk about because without you, we wouldn't be here. And shout out to all the promoters and your indie talent out there and wrestling talent. You guys are amazing. This is what we're here for. We get over by putting you guys over. But if we don't see you next week, see us back here on Tuesday at 8 p.m., Wednesday, 8 p.m., and Thursday. And if you don't see us then, you know where to see us. We'll see you at the Indies.
Peace.